You are now live and recording.
Thank you. Welcome everyone, council, staff, and those attending via Zoom. Call to order special meeting Wednesday, March 15th, 2023, 11 a.m. City of Morro Bay City Council. I will ask the city clerk for a roll call vote, please. Roll call form, excuse me.
Councilmember Barton.
Here.
Councilmember Edwards.
Here.
Thank you. Councilmember Ford
Here.
and Councilmember Landrum, I don't believe has joined us quite yet, and Mayor Wixom.
Here. Thank you. Today's meeting is called due to the need to cancel our regularly scheduled meeting. This will fall under AB 361. Before we move forward, I will ask the city attorney to address item number 1 for the resolution.
Good morning, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. First item on the agenda today is to approve that this meeting is being done under AB 361 teleconferencing. And there is a report that is provided to the council and the public. In short, AB 361, we're familiar with it. We used it during the times of COVID. It also allows the city council to teleconference like we're doing right now during a state of emergency. If there's an imminent risk to health or safety, that an in-person meeting would come about. And so there's a resolution to approve this teleconferencing being done today. If the city council approves this resolution, then we can move on to the second item. If not, then we would need to schedule an in-person meeting. And the second item on this agenda is to ratify the emergency declaration that was issued on Friday, and the council has 7 days to ratify that. So a majority vote of the council could approve the resolution to allow the meeting to proceed. If there's any questions about this item, myself and the city clerk are available.
Thank you very much, Mr. Newmeyer. With that, I will open public comment for item number 1 of the special meeting agenda. Are there any raised hands in the queue?
There are no raised hands at this time.
Thank you very much. With that, I'll bring it back to council, and I will be looking for a motion to approve item number 1 of the resolution, the recommendations for resolution 1423.
Mayor, I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I move that we adopt resolution number 14-23 authorizing for public health and safety to conduct public meetings of the legislative bodies of the city via remote teleconferencing due to the winter storm events. Do I need to read the rest?
Probably.
Okay. The purpose of AB 361 is to provide the safest environment for the public, elected officials, and staff while allowing the continued operation of the government and public participation during a declared state of emergency. The adoption of resolution number 14-23 is necessary to continue the meeting via teleconference and consider adoption of, okay, so yes. So I move that we do this.
Thank you. And do I have a second?
Yes.
We have a first from Councilmember Ford and a second from, I'm not sure who it was.
Barton.
Councilmember Barton. Thank
Yeah.
you. And with that, I'll ask the city clerk for a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Barton.
Yes.
Councilmember Edwards.
Yes.
Councilmember Ford
Yes.
and Mayor Wixom.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. And with that, we will move on to item number 2. Mr. Newmeyer.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 2 is to ratify the emergency declaration issued by Acting City Manager Sarah Johnson Rios on Friday. And the City Council has, under the government code, 7 days to ratify the emergency declaration or else it expires. Don't need to go into the storm events. We're all familiar with Friday and then Tuesday's storm. Ratifying this emergency declaration provides certain abilities to the city that the city doesn't have if we don't have an emergency declaration. including more mutual aid resources, allowing the city certain authority to respond to the emergency. We were able to activate the Emergency Operations Center after the state of emergency was declared. And there are some other benefits as well. And it must be noted that the governor also issued a state of emergency that covers San Luis Obispo County, and then ours was issued on Friday. If this isn't approved, then the state of emergency would expire at the end of tomorrow. And so council's asked to consider whether or not to consider this state of emergency. It expires on its own terms in 30 days if not renewed. And hopefully we won't need to redo it within 30 days. And again, I'm available for any questions, as is city clerk. We put this together last week, and that's the report.
Thank you, Mr. Newmeyer. I will open public comment on item number 2 of the special meeting, AGP. Do we have any public comment? Anyone in the queue?
There are no raised hands at this time.
Thank you very much. With that, I'll bring it back to council. Since we've accepted item number 1, recognizing the AB 361, is there any discussion on this item from any council members? With that, I will ask for a motion to approve item number 2.
I'd like to move approval of item 2. Do you want me to read the recommendation?
Yes, please.
Okay. Adopt resolution number 1323, proclaiming and affirming the existence of a local emergency and confirming and ratifying the proclamation by the city's Director of Emergency Services of the existence of local emergency in response to the March 2023 winter storm surge.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Councilmember Edwards, was that you? Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Barton,
Yes.
Councilmember Edwards,
Yes.
Councilmember Landrum. Councilmember Landrum, I believe you're muted. Councilmember Ford,
Yes.
Councilmember Landrum, are you able to hear? We're taking the roll call vote on item 2. And Mayor Wixom?
Yes, Councilmember Landrum says she has no sound. And my vote is yes.
Okay. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. And I believe that's all our business for today. Is there any comments from, since we didn't have at the beginning, from council members before we adjourn the meeting?
Mayor, I'd just like to say a few words about our staff's response to the last storms and of course the previous ones. I just want to thank all of our staff members for the city of Morro Bay, our first responders, our public works department, all the departments that came together that have been working day in and day out to ensure the safety of our residents here in Morro Bay and our visitors as well. I know that they were working overnight and putting themselves at risk during this time. And I just want to extend a huge thank you from myself as well as so many others that I've heard from. So thank you to everyone who was involved with ensuring our safety. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. And I would echo that. A big shout out to all of our city staff, from our department heads down to those out in the field, along with all our volunteers also. I'd like to welcome Mr. Carpenter, our interim city manager, who's just joined us, the city on Monday, and appreciate his leadership. And I really want to have a big shout out to Sarah Johnson Rios for a job well done as the interim in between during this storm. So thank you very much for that, Sarah. Anyone else before we adjourn?
Yes, I'd like to add something, Mayor, as well. I just wanted to also thank the staff for their due diligence and being prepared ahead of time on this one. And also it was, I would like to thank the mayor and Matt Vera, our fire marshal, for picking me up and taking me for a ride around town into the impacted areas. It was quite amazing, truly, to see everything happening in real time. And knowing that our people, our Public Works Department, at the leadership of Greg Qualick, were out there clearing debris from the creek, as it was literally coming downhill and converging and merging down under that bridge. It was quite incredible to see that. So again, I thank you, Mayor, and Matt Vieira, Fire Marshal, for taking me for that ride along.
I unmute myself there. Sorry about that. Um, And I know Councilmember Landrum still stuck in muted zone. So with that, I will move adjournment of the meeting of March 15th, 2023.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.